Hey, yo, lesson here, babe. You come at the king, you best not miss.
Got a minute to go here. Let me ask you. I've asked this of others earlier in this conversation, but I'm curious, really curious to get your take on it. So President Biden lines up behind Kamala Harris, endorses her. The Clintons, Bill and Hillary, have come out, lined up behind her. So many others have. You mentioned 6 states that have already pledged all their delegates. Other states, I suspect, will do likewise. But Barack Obama, curiously, called for an open process. How did you read that comment from him?
Well, I don't like it. I don't like it at all. He and Nancy Pelosi started out after Biden, some weeks ago, saying that he was literally not capable of becoming the president and handling a debate and all of that. And they built the pressure, and they did the organizing around getting others, and was, I know what they were doing. And you would think at this time they would stand down and they would be satisfied that they have lost on the issue of an open convention where they would make her compete with whoever these mystery candidates would be. And they should come on in and stop playing the power game that they're playing. If they got somebody that they want to run against her, they've lost that battle already. It's not going to work. I'm not happy with that at all. And I think they need to stop it and just join with the millions of people who now have joined in with support of her.
It's one of the reasons you got to respect Maxine Waters. She does not hold her tongue. I think she just chin checked Barack Obama and Nancy Pelosi. That's my word, not hers. Congresswoman, good to have you on. We'll do it again soon. All the best to you. Thanks for your time.
All right, good people. They said that y'all want me to do more pre-recorded, so I'm trying to do more pre-recordeds for my 2 channels. I'll see if I can get to the 3rd one. But for my 2 channels, my Black Pill Gnostic page, which I do more about BFF, for the black females. They get that fix over there. And this is more serious, more geopolitical. There may be some female stuff on this side every now and then when it applies. I try to keep this a little bit more serious and more less about the fun side of laughing at black females. And I'm going to try to do more, say, scholarly work, if I can, if that's a word, over on my Master Teacher's Response channel. The stuff that I want to do over there that is kind of dry and probably doesn't fit in on either one of these channels. And sometimes it's me replying to other content creators in the space, like BreadTube, like the Blue Wall, as we call them, and other naysayers. I call the bottom feeders in the space, but that's where that's going to be. But I just want to talk about something, and I'm sure it's going to get some kind of negative reaction because he's not that well liked in the black manosphere, and that's Barack Obama. And when I look at characters like this, I'm black pill, so I don't have a feeling about Barack Obama one way or the other. I never really did. I did vote for him twice. I did. And I had a lot of black people, believe it or not, pro-blacks, that did not like Barack Obama, for various reasons. And which didn't make any sense to me because if you put a white guy in the same spot, you're going to get the same result. So it didn't make any sense to me. And you got, in my opinion, with Barack Obama, because he was advocating slightly toward black people, you did get some things through that you probably wouldn't have got through without him. But that was neither here nor there. I'm not trying to go back on Barack Obama's presidential record. Any president, anytime, anywhere, you're going to get good stuff, you're going to get bad stuff. Even with Donald Trump, when his first 4 years in office, you got stuff that I would say would make you cringe, and I also got stuff that I would be probably proud of. And I can say that I'm who's a detractor of Donald Trump. I would say even Joe Biden. There's some things that would make me cringe. A lot of things that would make me cringe about Joe Biden. Lots of stuff will make me cringe about Joe Biden. But there's also some other things that are in there that black men can actually take advantage of. And we didn't, but that's neither here nor there either. What I want to say about Barack Obama, not giving him his flowers, what I'm saying is What I want you guys to do is evaluate these people without emotion. Like him or not, you have to evaluate him. Just like when I was younger, I hated Larry Bird as a basketball player. I hated the Boston Celtics as a basketball team, but I had to respect what they could do on the court, whether I liked them or not. I had to respect what they can do on the court. Same thing with Barack Obama. I don't have to like the man. I'm fairly neutral about Barack Obama. I know what he is. I know where he came from. I know what he's about. I know who backs him. But I'm fairly neutral about Barack Obama. And in this cycle, I want us to kind of evaluate him. Because a lot of things that we see out there in the public, especially public facing, we don't see how sausage gets made, even though there's whispers about it. Basically, now they're telling the truth now that there's a loss. Now you have to do the Monday morning quarterbacking. You know, most of the Democrats did not really support Kamala Harris full-throatedly. They didn't think she would win. Now they're admitting the same stuff I said like 6 months ago, that the odds of them winning with either Biden or Harris are pretty slim. They're pretty slim. They're admitting it now. But I was arguing with my brother. This got to be 4 or 5 months ago. What is it? Yeah, it's got to be July, right? July is 4 months ago. In July, yeah, something like that. With my brother. And we were arguing back and forth. I was saying that why Kamala Harris was not liked, why Kamala Harris was not picked, and why, one, Barack Obama kind of strong-armed Joe Biden to step down, and number two, why he wanted to open the convention, which legally that's what you're supposed to do, right? By the rules that if your candidate goes to a primary and has to step down for any reason, you have to have an open convention, which is what Obama actually advocated for. The word is that Hillary Clinton, George Soros, and a few others, that milieu, I'm not going to say who they are, there's probably more, advocated for Kamala Harris to be named in this place because she was VP, including, one of my own congressman, Maxine Waters. Maxine Waters was also on that Hillary Clinton side. So it wasn't just all the neocons and all the white folks. They advocated for putting VP Harris into the spot. Now, I'm thinking, and this is my conjecture, is that wing that put Harris in was thinking that if you could put enough propaganda and enough money and control the press enough that you can actually strong arm people and putting this woman into office and continuing whatever agenda that Biden was already on. I think that was their thinking. They really thought they could have a shot. AOC came out and said as much. Now Obama, Barry O, for his foibles was actually correct in this assessment. One thing I can say about Barry, he's a quick learner. He didn't go to Harvard Law for nothing. He's a fast learner. And he correctly assessed the situation that, one, Joe Biden couldn't campaign. He couldn't win against Trump. And after the debate, everybody knew that he couldn't win against Trump. And after the ear incident, he knew that there was no hope for Joe Biden to actually win this. And what he wanted to do is open it up, even knowing that there wasn't enough time to actually properly vet and push through and so-called sell a candidate to the American people. Well, he said, at least with an open convention, it looked fair, it looked democratic, it was more appeasing to the American people. And what would happen is you could actually save some of the down ballot seats, which is Congress and the Senate, and maintain control, at least control of the Senate, and maybe gain control of the House, and kind of offset the loss that you get with the Oval Office. That was his hope. That's why he wanted open convention. That's how come he didn't put much stock and faith in Kamala Harris. He knew who she was. In fact, they were against putting her as VP. I actually played a clip from a woman that was in the milieu, in the bubble, said the exact same thing before Joe Biden picked her as VP. That was the wrong spot for her because her talents and abilities didn't fit that level of responsibility, and that has been borne out. So Obama knew what he had. He knew there was other people that could step in. They were probably more, I would say, capable, even though they would lose. But the thing is, by losing, you would be sacrificing yourself to protect the down ballot seats, and maybe even if you lost in that contracted time period, you could still run in 2028. Barack Obama's whole focus was protect your down ballot seats, make a good showing, appease the American people, and then make your run in 2028 when Donald Trump has to step down. And looking at the results on election night, he might have had something. I think he nailed it. I think he plugged in the right parameters and plugged in the right numbers, and I think he nailed it. I think what he said to Pelosi, Pelosi backed him, to the other half of the Democratic wing, to AOC and Maxine Waters and other folks in the Democratic DNC party, was right. And I think all this gnashing of teeth and mea culpas is because they guessed wrong, and now they don't want to admit that they guessed wrong. Now, all the other factors that he had admitted, had put into the calculation about not having enough time, not having enough runway, Biden stepping down way too late, which I'm sure he was against Biden stepping down this late. I'm sure he was against Biden running because I didn't think Biden would announce that he was running again. Now, I know why he did it. I know exactly why he did it, but I'm not going to say it here. And why he maintained trying to stay in office, why he maintained his position. That, like I said, we're not going to say it right here, out this front-facing side. I mean, that has to be on my Patreon. I said I get dinged if I say stuff like that here. But I just want to say, when somebody's correct about something, whether I like them or not, I could hate his guts, but if he's correct about something, he's correct about something. Like I said, I'm not a fan of Barack Obama. I'm not a detractor of Barack Obama. I'm fairly neutral about him because there's stuff that he did that I agree with. There's a whole bunch of stuff just like Trump I disagree with. What I'm saying is sometimes we have to evaluate people properly and give them credit where credit is due. And I think in this instance, he was correct. And I think the Democratic Party ruined his reputation by pushing him out there to campaign for her, to go talk and talk down to black men for her. I think that was wrong. They did the same thing with Bill Clinton because he had to go out and talk to white folks. So that's how bad they were doing. But basically, they threw everybody under the bus and everybody overboard trying to get this woman across the line. And it didn't work. It failed miserably. So you damaged the man's reputation with black people, especially black men, to do what? Because you thought you had a chance of pushing this girl through. Something he may never get back, because black men are going to remember this. Black men are going to remember him coming out and saying those words to them, which is why Joy Reid is kissing behind right now, because they know what they said, know what they said about black men voting, calling us all kind of names, which you still hear on TikTok, because like I said, the internet will expose us all. So all those women that they propagandize on, in the media, they're on TikTok, they're on Facebook, they're on Twitter, they're on Instagram, repeating the words that you said 3-4 months ago about black men that will not go away. That will not go away. So the ugly stuff that you said that now you're trying to forget, it's going to keep coming back to you, like having children, right? You say cuss words, swear words in private, and they'll say it in public. That's what's going on right now. But I just want to give you guys a lesson in how to evaluate even people that you don't like properly, so you can actually see the chessboard without bias. What the man said, what the man's plan was probably more correct than the one they laid out. And now they're admitting that it may have been a mistake. But we'll see. Never underestimate people's willingness to try to shift blame. Never underestimate a black woman's propensity for not taking accountability. Anyhow, y'all, that's all I got for this one. BGS out now. See you guys on the next one. Peace.